This was the most mysterious black box on the plane. Few people knew it was actually red, but inside, it held the darkest moments of the flight. Whenever a black box was recovered like this, it signaled that a disaster had already occurred, and all the questions about what happened would have to be answered through it. This particular black box had been recovered from a flight from Dubai to Paris. 2 days earlier, that plane had tragically crashed in the Alps, killing all 300 passengers and 16 crew members on board. No distress signals were ever sent, and the cause of the accident remained a complete mystery. To investigate the tragedy, the Aviation Accident Bureau immediately sprang into action. They first removed the black box's pressure-resistant outer shell, then dismantled the heat and impact-resistant internal layers, revealing the innermost waterproof layer. Once that was removed, they finally extracted the storage chip inside. Andrew, the Bureau's chief audio analyst, was working tirelessly to analyze the recordings for clues. But just as everyone was expecting the truth to come to light, Andrew mysteriously disappeared. In the emergency, his assistant Matthew was thrust into the role, taking on this daunting task. Matthew possessed not only extraordinary hearing abilities, but also an almost obsessive drive to uncover the truth. Using the recordings, he was able to almost perfectly reconstruct the cockpit environment at the moment of the crash. At first, the captain had adjusted the plane's altitude to 380 feet according to protocol. A flight attendant entered to deliver meals, and everything in the cockpit appeared normal. But shortly after the attendant left, the communication signals, possibly disrupted by static, became noisy. The cockpit headphones were filled with harsh, grating sounds, and the captain, unable to tolerate it, removed his headset. Soon after, when the flight attendant returned to the cockpit, the plane suddenly began to descend. At that moment, the control tower's calls went unanswered, leaving only desperate cries from inside the cockpit. Though everything seemed normal on the surface, Matthew's keen hearing picked up unusual signals. He increased the frequency of the final segment of audio, applied noise reduction, and instructed his colleagues to remain completely silent. Finally, he detected a faint, almost imperceptible sound. Matthew immediately reported his findings to the leadership. He hypothesized that someone had entered the cockpit, and that person was a religious adherent. This incident, he concluded, was highly likely to be a terrorist attack,